Hello everyone. I was researching for many days parts I could get my money's worth out of. Eventually I decided to make my PC a mini ITX size. So this is the case I decided to go with. It's from Silverstone. Here's the front. You have 3.2 Gen 2 ports and of course headphone jacks. Here are all the ports and 3 headphone jacks. Here you have internet antennas that come with the motherboard. This graphics card is not the one I recommend for this build. I'll be doing a video in 1 to 2 months about graphics cards, and they will all fit inside this case. So this is the case for this build where we're going to put all our components. Alright, let's talk about the RAM. RAM is important for running programs or a little bit more frames in game. I went with 32 because I edit videos, of course. That's how I made this one. And because I wanted to also multitask. And it's also good if you're browsing. Let's say you want to open up 50 tabs for some unknown reason, for example research maybe, then you would need a fast RAM. I would go with like 16 gigabytes. You don't really need 32, so 16 gigabytes is good, but you can go 32 if you want your PC to have a little extra RAM. So the CPU I chose to just build, CPU or Central Processing System for your computer, I chose the Intel Core i3 10th Gen. So I was researching before and I found this Ryzen 5 3500X, and the problem is that this one it was perfect, similar to this one, but I could never find it on any site for some reason. So this CPU also comes with graphics, this one does not. So let's say you don't have a graphics card, you will be able to play basic games, some games like Minecraft, Hello Neighbor, and you'll be able to play that with the graphics already built in inside of the CPU. I chose this motherboard because it's mini ITX because I wanted to get a small PC from the start. This motherboard also fits the socket so that the CPU can actually fit in this little, like it looks like a toast here. This is where your CPU will have to fit in the installation process, and if it's not the correct socket type, the socket type is LGA 1200, then it won't fit in. This one also has quite a lot of reviews for this type of motherboard. So that's the motherboard. I already put the RAM and the CPU inside. Those there on the back, of course, are the ports. Of course, headphone jacks, the internet antenna to screw in there. You need to make sure you have the metal inserted inside, or else you won't be able to insert the motherboard inside the case. After that, you can screw the SSD. Now, after that, you probably want to screw in the motherboard at the same time or before. Here, you need to plug in the SSD through the power cable and the motherboard. There's a second cable which you need to plug into the motherboard. Then any remaining cables you're not using, just toss over. Make sure you put all the other smaller cables that come from the case and plug inside the motherboard, or else some buttons will not work. That right there is the power supply. Make sure you don't put the wires through the hole, or else you won't be able to put the power supply inside. Next, you want to put the front part inside and make sure that you move the wire so you can easily do it. After that, I'm gonna flip the case so I can show you what I'm doing. You don't have to flip it. There, I'm gonna screw in a couple screws, because if you don't screw the case properly, it can move during use, and that's not good, because then you might have screws falling off or the whole thing moving, and you don't want that to interrupt your gameplay or your computer experience. Now you want to make sure the internet antennas are screwed in. Make sure you don't touch it from the back, or else you're just going to be rotating the back. After you screw in both, your computer is done in the building stage. After that, you can set it up in a desk or wherever you want to place it and plug in all the ports. So that's it for this build. I hope you guys liked the video. Please subscribe and like, and see you guys in the next video.